All right, welcome back everybody. It's February 2nd, so here in the United States, that means it's Groundhog Day. So here in the United States, it means it's Groundhog Day. See what I did there? So for those of you that don't know, or outside the States, it's this goofy holiday we have here where we decide to take the prognostications of a large rodent, as Bill Murray would say, and determine whether or not winter is going to be extra long or extra short. Well, long story short is that the rodent decided that we are going to have an extra long winter, which is apropos, seeing as though the Midwest or central part of the United States right now is getting something like 2 feet of snow. So yeah, we're getting a lot of really bad weather right now. But here in the Southwest, in Arizona, in Flagstaff specifically, it's been really sunny, still very cold, and all the forest roads are sadly still closed because of the ice. But the weather is actually looking really nice. So I'm going to start taking the Himalayan back out probably very soon. Obviously not on the back roads, but possibly down into Sedona where all of the dirt and back roads are open. So I do have a few updates that I want to pass along before I get into something maybe a little bit more fun. The first has to do with the NASMAT tour that I talked about in my last video. I don't have any significant updates on that yet. I don't have the GPX files ready either, but I did want to say that the weekend that I had planned in mid-June, which I believe was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, June maybe 10th through 13th or something like that, all I did was I shifted it one day so that instead it's on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It doesn't really matter. I just sort of figured that that way people could come down on a Friday evening and then we start on the weekend. The other update I have, which is really exciting, is I just got something in the mail today from Italy, which I am frankly shocked that I was able to pull off. So what you're looking at here is a warranty replacement for my engine guard. So if you didn't see, I didn't post a video about it, but I posted some pictures that my left engine guard fractured. It cracked at like some sort of fatigue or weak point in the metal. And I sent all these photographs to GV and they said that they've never seen that happen before. So I thought they were going to come back and say I put it on too tight, or there was too much strain on it when I cranked it down, or I should have put washers in there or something like that. But to their credit, they basically said, yep, we'll cover it under warranty. So they sent me a brand new engine guard, which I haven't even opened yet. Yes, it looks just like they sent a single replacement guard. Very exciting. I will put this on at some point in the coming days. And I'll actually video that because I never actually did make a video mounting the engine guards originally, and I think that could be very useful for some of you. I also did pick up some handlebar risers. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to mount them or not. I feel like my handlebars are just a tiny bit low. Like I'm not very tall. I'm only 5'9" or 175 centimeters. So I don't feel like I'm leaning way over, but I do feel like I just wish the handlebars were like a centimeter or two higher. So it's just gonna raise the handlebars up a tiny little bit, which I think will be just the right amount for me. So that's something else that I have to look forward to installing. So I've got the new engine guard, which yes, didn't cost me a cent. Full warranty covered. I'm very excited about that. NASMAT's going to be on that June weekend, the 11th through the 14th, June 11th through the 14th. Those are the dates. So why don't we now move on to something a little more fun? What I was thinking, since I don't have a lot of time this afternoon, and I just want to do something kind of silly and fun, that maybe we try and fire up the scooter. It's always a crapshoot. I never know if the thing's gonna start. It's been sitting here since, November. So solid 2.5 months now. I am going to see what happens. We're gonna wheel her out and try and fire her up. You know, I've spent a lot of time defending the scooter, but I stand by my defense in that it's a very practical and efficient machine, and just a really great way to cheaply get around town. Still see all the snow out there. She's gonna be a little slow to start, that's for sure. All right, we've got battery charge. Yep. That's exactly what it did last year. It just started right up. Unbelievable. The indefatigable Scootie McScoot face. Let's take her out for a spin. Unreal. Ooh, it's a little slow to rev. There it goes. Oh man, it is cold out. Definitely not dressed for this weather. Oh yeah, she's a little sluggish on the acceleration for sure. So a little slow. Oh yeah, definitely sluggish. Definitely sluggish. That's okay though. It's working. That's the important part. Oh, almost stalled there. It really wants to stall. Yeah, it is way too cold to be out right now. It's probably like, I don't know, 28. It's below freezing for sure. So for those of you who use the metric, which we should all be using, it's -1, -2. Oh yeah, it is way too cold for this, but still, she lives to fight another day. That's a beautiful view of the mountain. See that? Cutting through here. It's Agassiz, the pointy one, and then Humphreys, of course, is right behind it. You can't really see it, but those are the San Francisco peaks as seen from my neighborhood. Not a bad view. Still quite a bit of snow up there. It is melting and or sublimating quickly. It's very dry here, so the snow sublimates just as fast as it melts, which is kind of bonkers, because you know, if you go back to your physics classes and you start thinking about the vapor pressures involved and things like that, it's amazing that we can lose so much to sublimation. I'm just really happy to know that the scooter is chugging along, live to fight another day. I plan to use it quite extensively this year, to just, once the weather gets a little nicer, just to get around town and commute into work, and yeah, so all right, well, successful field test, and I am quite happy, Scootie, that you have given me some hope for the year. All right, so we made it safe and sound back in the garage. The scooter fired up. She's working great. I'm excited to get the bikes out once we warm up a little bit more here in the next couple weeks. But I wanted to end this video kind of in a different direction. The past couple of weeks for me have been probably the busiest I've ever been with respect to my new job here. So I work at a university here in Arizona, and for the last couple of years, things have been kind of a steady load as far as my work level. But over the holidays, I had to write and prepare a very large science proposal, basically asking for funding. So this will fund a student, this will fund a project, this will fund field work, will fund lab work. I mean, it is a big, bold ask of a funding agency. And it was a very stressful process, very self-reflective. And despite all of my training, all of my years of research and field work, all of my research papers and publications and collaborations and all of the things that I've done in the service of science and in my field and my discipline, I couldn't help but notice the nagging little feeling of doubt, and doubt, I guess I should say self-doubt. And what I mean, and the reason I want to bring this topic up, because I think it's pervasive in all fields, not just academia or research, but no matter what it is that you do, there's this nagging problem of what we call in academia the imposter syndrome, where no matter how much you've done, how respected you are, how much research or however much you've done to sort of prove yourself, never mind going through graduate school and defending a dissertation and all that stuff, you still feel like as you're writing that proposal that, do I really know what I'm talking about? Or am I really confident in what I'm saying? And it's easy to tell someone else, well, no, obviously that's wrong. You're clearly qualified. You're more than qualified. Don't even think those thoughts. But when it's yourself, it can really play games with you. And you know, it got to the point where I actually felt it was necessary to talk to the students, because I know as a grad student once myself, I went through that all the time. And so I wanted the students to know that if you're feeling this nagging feeling of imposter syndrome, that you don't belong, that you don't think you're good enough, that you don't think you're doing enough research or asking the right questions or publishing enough or doing enough data analyses or whatever it is, lab works, field work, that you are, and that you're doing better than you think you are, and that advisors and people mentoring you, I'm sure, are thinking the same thing. And so my point is that if anybody's watching this and you think that you are experiencing imposter syndrome, or that and you're kind of afraid to admit it to someone because you think it's going to make you look bad, or maybe you feel ashamed or something, that we all have it. We all go through it, even faculty members. So just keep that in mind. Whatever it is that you do, try as hard as you can to recognize that you are doing better than you think you are, and that if you could only see what other people think of you and what they think of the work that you're doing, you would easily be able to quell those thoughts of imposter syndrome. So I know this is a really strange and off topic from motorcycles and running and scooters or whatever, but it's really been weighing heavy on my mind these last few weeks as I've been struggling through this proposal, which I did submit. Yay, it's done. I'm very excited. Now we wait and see if it gets approved. So yeah, such a weight off my back. It was very, very satisfying. I definitely busted out the fancy whiskey after that. So yeah, a little motivational pep talk for y'all out there is that keep doing what you're doing, be confident in what you're doing, and know that there are people that appreciate what you're doing and recognize the skill at which the skill that's needed to do what it is that you're doing. The training that you've had to endure. Every time I run a race or do a trail run or something, and I think about all the training I had to put into it, even though I inevitably stand at that start line and I think, I'm not ready for this, I'm not trained for this, you know, I'm not ready, I have to keep reminding myself, I just did a whole bunch of training. I ran every day for the last 2 months, and you know, did hill repeats and sprints and all these different things. And that I am ready, and maybe I could be a little bit more ready if I would have trained a little harder, but I'm still ready. So I don't know, some food for thought, a little self-reflection and motivation for this Wednesday afternoon. But I will see you guys all in the next video. I have a little something planned for next week that I'm not sure if I'm going to document or not. It may be a little self-journey, but if I do decide to document, I'll certainly share it on the channel. It is not motorcycle related. It is more of a wilderness adventure type thing. So if I do decide to share footage from that or take footage while I'm doing that, I will definitely share it. But I'm just really pumped. Get that new engine guard on and start prepping for NASMAT. I think it's going to be really fun, and I've already gotten a lot of responses. So it's going to be great. I'm really excited. I'm excited that a lot of you guys have responded. If you haven't responded, go to NASMAT.com and fill out the little questionnaire just so I have a sense. You know, there's a good chance we'll have a decent number, maybe 10 people, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, that's all I got. Sorry for rambling. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Maybe after next week's little jaunt in the woods. We'll see. All right, guys. See ya.